Now, in honor of Black History Month, we are putting a spotlight on some of the many people who have helped to shape our community. Today, the inspiring story of a husband and wife team, both doctors, who dedicated themselves to caring for South Florida's African-American residents.
The idea of giving back has always been a part of my thinking about my part, my place in society.
I was 4 when I said I wanted to be a doctor. My grandmother was ill at the time. I don't know whether that probably had an effect on me. And I told her when I grew up I was going to be a doctor and I was going to treat her, get her better.
Doctors George and Dizelle Simpson, South Florida pioneers. George, the first board-certified African-American surgeon in the state of Florida. Dizelle, the first African-American pediatrician in Miami. They met at medical school in Nashville, continued their training in South Florida, and chose to settle in Miami, Dizelle's hometown.
I decided that we might well come here, although I didn't quite decide that until my wife built a house in Miami in 1955.
The civil rights movement here was not yet in full force.
And I remember when I came here, Fort Lauderdale was just as bad as any part of Alabama or Mississippi. But Miami was a kind of an oasis, and we did not find the stiff, unrelenting resistance to integration here that we did in other parts.
And Miami was very lucky to have the Simpsons. They quickly realized a need in South Florida's black communities.
The poor side of a community always got the worst in health because economic and psychological and religious attitudes cause a lot of illness.
And they did something about it.
We petitioned the University of Miami and the city to have this thing built on the west side where there was a great underserving of the population.
George was the first medical director of Miami's first community health center. Dizelle would see patients in health clinics for $3 an hour. She always remembered, as a young girl, watching African Americans wait for hours and hours to see a white doctor. She actually wrote about it.
This is what my 5th grade paper said. They would come to doctors of color where they would be treated properly and they wouldn't have to wait outside till everybody else was seen.
One couple married more than 65 years. Doctors, activists, trailblazers. The very best South Florida has to offer.
Aren't they great? Well, while he was practicing medicine, Dr. George Simpson was also very active in the civil rights movement locally and the local NAACP. He fought for desegregation in all public facilities, from hospitals to schools and restaurants. The Simpsons, I'm happy to tell you, still live here in Coconut Grove.